Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
A bullshit?
Recently, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt has had to address a swirl of questions around President Donald Trump's health. Right before Thanksgiving, the New York Times put out a story suggesting that Trump keeps a light schedule and is showing signs of serious cognitive decline. That prompted a fiery response from Leavitt.
That is unequivocally false. Are you kidding me?
And in the very same press conference, she addressed the results of a recent MRI study performed on the president.
This is a summary from the president's physician, and we will release it.
But there's not one, but two kinds of bullshit going on here. The first is subtle. We could call it stealth bullshit. It involves this report from the MRI.
No evidence of arterial narrowing impairing blood flow or abnormalities in the heart or major vessels. The heart chambers are normal in size, the vessel walls appear smooth and healthy, and there are no signs of inflammation or clotting. His abdominal imaging is also perfectly normal. All major organs appear very healthy and well perfused.
Did you catch it? On the face of it, this doesn't seem that bad. There have been questions about why the president was rushed in for an MRI scan.
What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
But notice that this detailed readout is occurring in the same press briefing addressing what's really at issue here, which is whether the president is showing signs of cognitive decline and alertness problems. According to the FBI's Law Enforcement Bulletin in a training article on how to spot lying, it's a common technique to embed a lie within a bunch of details on something that seems related but isn't actually relevant. So it's great that the president's coronary arteries and stomach are in good shape, but that's not the question being asked. And by the way, even Trump knows this. He clarifies that the MRI has nothing to do with his cognitive health.
What part of the body? It wasn't the brain.
So what about the core issue here? This is where Leavitt and the entire Trump administration, and in fact the whole MAGA movement, have been overtaken by a different kind of bullshit. Gaslighting bullshit. Denying things that are obviously true and full of evidence to accuse people of being crazy.
You people are crazy. I'm sharper than I was 25 years ago.
Soon after that statement, the president appeared to be struggling to stay awake. His eyelids got heavy.
And of course, this isn't the first time this has happened.
He has appeared to doze during an Oval Office event on obesity, during a meeting with a foreign leader, and even during his own criminal trial proceedings.
There's a larger and very clear track record that Trump gets confused, forgets things, trips over his words, and just kind of generally melts down.
Windmills are driving the whales crazy. I know about magnets is this. Give me a glass of water. Let me drop it on the magnets. That's the end of the magnet. The kidney has a very special place in the heart. This is a tough hurricane. One of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water. When you ran out the healthy arms, you ran out of really healthy. They had great arms, but they ran out. Did you just see Maduro, Venezuela?
Look, I think we could all accept the White House putting some spin on all of this or trying to dress it up. That's their job. But that's not what they're doing. They're gaslighting, which they're doing because the entire MAGA movement is incredibly sensitive about Trump's health and physical vitality. For example, the man has a history of lying about the fact that he's obese, lying about it in a really obvious way.
He self-reported his height and weight, 6'3", 215 pounds, and no one's buying it.
I'm going to go ahead and call, no, that is not the case.
If he weighs 215, I weigh 102.
If it is true, he'd have the same physique as NFL quarterback Lamar Jackson.
He freaks out at any intrusion of objective reality.
He is whatever he says he is.
Excuse me. It's 170.
And it's induced this odd virility panic in the MAGA movement that causes them to obsessively depict Trump as a muscle-bound beefcake, Rambo, or riding a lion. Actually, I like that last one. Pretty positive the lion is taken from the Narnia movies, and as true nerds know, Aslan is an allegorical symbol for Jesus, meaning that some MAGA tool just depicted Trump riding atop Jesus to make America great again. No notes. Sometimes you really need to step back and look at all the dots to have a picture emerge, like one of those magic eye diagrams that everybody hates. In this case, when you put together the White House's stealth deflections and the overall MAGA movement's unhinged and desperate fantasy about Trump's physicality, the overall pattern that emerges is exactly what you see in authoritarian dictatorships, where everyone is so deadly afraid of how sensitive the dear leader is that they make up stories about his exploits.
We're told the founder and president Kim Il-sung test-fired the first locally produced submachine gun 50 meters, more than 160 feet, hitting those two targets with a bullseye every time.
Comrade Kim Jong-un shot 3 bullets and 3 of them got bullseye.
They all got bullseye. And how old was he at the time?
He was 7-year-old.
The 7-year-old got 3 bullseyes?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Look, it's not realistic to expect any White House to admit that the president is old, sleepy, or fat. But we don't have to let them get away with stealthily conflating things that really aren't related, or outright gaslighting us by denying evidence that's in front of our eyes, or obnoxiously attacking anyone who dares question their 2 + 2 = 5 make-believe. At the very least, we can identify it all as a tired, confused, and flabby piece of bullshit.